So we got the Apollo Conference that's really kind of coming down to the wire. Mount Zion got a really big win against Taylorville. I saw that matchup early in the season, and Taylorville, it looked like Space Jam a little bit, where they're the Monstars. I mean, they're just such a bigger team than Mount Zion, and Mount Zion had some shooting struggles back then, but they had a really great game. I mean, they had a really nice game against Taylorville, get the 60-55 win, and they're at the top of the Apollo Conference. And after a season where it was kind of up and down a little bit at the start, they had a really good initial tournament for the Thanksgiving tournament, but really have done well in the Apollo Conference. And they got a big game against Effingham coming up, and if they win that game, I think they win the conference, because you have Charleston and Salem at the back end, which are two of the teams that are at the bottom of the conference. So if you get that win against Effingham, I think you're looking pretty good if you're Mount Zion.
Yeah, and the win against Taylorville was so big, because looking at Taylorville's schedule, they have winnable games with Charleston and Mattoon coming up, so they're probably going to take care of business, and so it all kind of comes down to this one game against Effingham, and Effingham is a team that's playing really well also with Grant Wolf and Braden Bone especially. Last time out, Mount Zion won by double digits in December. Both of these teams are different at this point, getting on streaks and looking a little bit better. But this conference is so tight. I mean, you really had to do some research to figure out, okay, who is actually the team that's in the lead down the stretch here, and who's behind it by how many games. So you expect this game, probably the biggest one left on the Apollo slate.
Yeah, and I don't know if I broke it down, but Mount Zion is 6-1 right now for Apollo, and then Effingham and Taylorville both at 5-2. So really close, and for Mount Zion, it's kind of how it's been all year. If they can make their threes, they'll be in really good shape. It kind of opens up the floor for Peyton Grindstaff, who I think it's a pretty balanced scoring. It's pretty balanced offense for Mount Zion, but I think if there needs someone to go to in the clutch, it's Peyton Grindstaff. You look at that MacArthur game where he scored, I think, 32 points. I mean, I think he's the guy if they need someone to go to in the clutch. But they got those 3-point shooters, obviously Austin Thacker, and then a lot of younger guys. If they get that confidence, that could be a really dangerous team for Mount Zion. So that's a big game coming up against Effingham this Friday, and should be interesting to see how that conference shakes out here in the last couple weeks.
Yep.